Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, Lauren here with another great business to discuss on this episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. Today's guests are John and Marion, and they're selling their Amazon FBA business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. So welcome to the show, John and Marion. How are you doing today?
Hey, great, thanks.
Yeah, good. Thank you, Lauren.
Great. It's good to have you on, and I'm looking forward to talking more about your business. Before we dive in, let's go over a brief summary of the business. This is an Amazon FBA business in the education and fitness niches that was created in February 2017. The average monthly revenue for the business is $63,238, and it makes an average of $22,246 per month in net profit. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 55637 to learn more about this business, or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. Before we dive into our interview, let's have a look and see what assets are included in the sale. There is an Amazon Central Seller account with 48 SKUs, 2 trademark brands, an email list with 597 subscribers, an Etsy account, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest social media accounts, employee contacts, and supplier contacts. Now that I've given a general overview of the business, let's hear from the sellers. John and Marion, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yeah, definitely. So a bit about us. John is a civil engineer in his professional life, and I'm in online advertising, so I've got a marketing background. We actually wanted to start an FBA business so we had a bit more freedom and time to travel around the world.
Yeah, because of that, we were able to travel to 67 different countries over the last 5 years. So once COVID locked us down, that kind of stopped. So we were back in the real world. We both have jobs in our respective professions now, and we're just looking to offload this business to a prospective buyer and that can continue to grow it and pass what we can.
Wow, that sounds like quite a journey. 67 countries is a lot. Did you have any background in online businesses before you purchased this one?
No, we built this from the ground up. Yeah, we just used our professional knowledge. Yeah, we did a lot of research. We joined a lot of groups.
So many different masterminds.
Yeah.
And I think it did really help that Marion works in online advertising. She's worked for some of the biggest advertising firms in Australia, and she's working for one of the biggest ones in WA at the moment. In my background as an engineer, I was pretty good with the standard operating procedures and supply chain and that sort of side of things. So
And the numbers,
yeah, definitely the numbers. What can turn a profit? Okay. So when we combined those two skills, it was good for business.
Yeah, it sounds like you make a good team. How did you come up with the idea to start this particular business?
Yeah, so we didn't essentially go in saying, hey, we're going to start with fitness and education. First, we went in over that first year about 5 years ago and just tried to figure out the Amazon ecosystem and how it worked by throwing up different products, like every other Amazon FBA, owner's journey. We started importing things from China that just had, high profit margin that we thought we could sell. And, that obviously didn't work. I felt like we made every mistake in the book and when we first started out. And, we decided, hey, we need to build a brand. And we noticed, what do we like? What are we good at? We're good at fitness. We're good at education. So we decided to niche down our two brands into the things that we know. And we built out from there.
Okay, great. And what made you choose Amazon FBA over a traditional e-commerce business?
I actually had met some guys at work. We were living in Melbourne at the time, who was running an Amazon FBA business and was doing it profitably. And he gave me that whole pitch of, hey, I only work 10 hours a week and I make $30,000 a month. He was talking about revenue at the time. And I thought that was just amazing. So immediately I dived in, started picking his brain and saying, hey, how can I do that? And, here we are 5 years later and our store is way bigger than he ever was. And yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah, it's great to have someone who can hold your hand in the beginning, and even better if you can overtake them later on. What made you choose this particular niche?
It's just what we were good at. One, with education, you're helping people. And with fitness, you're continually improving yourself. And that's two core values that we stand behind. And that's how we got into them.
we saw a gap in the market for our products as well. So we knew there was profit to be made.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's always important. And it's good to have sort of a strong drive behind your business and a good purpose for doing it. So it sounds like you have a lot of passion for that business. How come you're selling it?
As we said earlier, we're still working full time. So it's taking up a bit of our time. We want that back. And where the business is currently at, it's growing really rapidly. So the next steps would be for us to hire some more employees and train them up. But at the end of the day, we made that decision of if you're doing that, then we would have to quit our jobs and go into that full time. But we like our jobs. We like to socialize with people.
And ultimately, we always had a goal in mind. We wanted to sell the business for a certain amount of money, and, we finally hit that, and it's on a strong growth trajectory. And I think it's in a great place for somebody else to buy, and there's still enough meat on the bone for them to, get that upside potential and capitalize on that growth. And we exit for that $1.3 million or more.
Yeah, fingers crossed. So it certainly sounds like you've hit a lot of milestones and achieved a lot of success with the business. Is there anything you learned from the business that you would apply to future sites or businesses? Any particular success stories that stand out in your mind?
Yeah, definitely. Supply chain. Just make sure you have a very strong supply chain, and make sure you have backup suppliers in case, one of your suppliers fails. And just always remember there's a plan B. If at first something doesn't work, you can try something else and you'll keep moving forward.
Yeah, I think that's a very important tip. And then on the flip side of the coin, you mentioned earlier that you made every mistake in the book. What are some of the few hiccups you had along the way, and anything that you would perhaps do differently if you had to do the business a second time around?
I think a lot of it just came with the learning curve of barcoding issues and what to do when the suppliers labeled things wrong and where to send them after that. That was a big one.
Yeah, I would say if we were to do it again, instead of throwing a smorgasbord of products up, we would start with a brand immediately, start niching down into that brand and taking up real estate on those pages as soon as possible. Because 5 years ago, Amazon wasn't as congested as it is now. So yeah, definitely that. Build a brand from the beginning and obtain trademarks quickly to fight off hijackers and people trying to copy you.
Yeah, unfortunately, those are things we only seem to learn along the way, but learning those logistical ropes does take a while. Do you do anything in terms of marketing at the moment?
Yeah, so on Amazon, we do the PPC advertising. As you mentioned before, we've got the social media brands. So we've got the Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, and we're getting into Google Shop as well.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Pinterest, or WordPress, Etsy, all that fun stuff that everybody else is doing.
Great. So it certainly sounds like you've diversified your traffic. Where would you say the majority of your traffic comes from?
It's definitely still on Amazon FBA, also on Amazon, but we're looking to build that out, and that's definitely a growth opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of growth opportunities, if you were to keep the business, what are some of the ways that you would try to grow it?
Push into international marketplaces. Right now, we're predominantly in just the United States and Canada. The UK and Europe and Germany and is a massive greenfield for us. We just haven't had the time or opportunity to expand over there. We're there. We just literally only 10% of our products. So massive opportunity to expand internationally.
Yeah, that's a nice big audience to appeal to. And in terms of the Amazon logistical side of it, can you describe the process of getting your inventory to the Amazon warehouses?
Sure. So we have suppliers both in the United States and in China. So at first we start with a purchase order. Purchase order will go out to the manufacturer. Manufacturer will manufacture the products, which is anywhere from, if we're talking China, about 2 to 4 weeks. Then we contact our freight forwarder. They'll forward it over normally, but we normally use air shipping. So this is another opportunity for bigger companies that can do FCL, full container loads, to optimize, because right now we do less than LCLs, less than container loads. So the margins aren't as high there. We'll ship it over to the Amazon warehouse, and then, it gets scanned into the warehouse. If we're talking about our US-based manufacturers, we same thing, cut the PO, goes to the US manufacturer, 2 weeks for manufacturing, and then literally within 2 days, it's in the Amazon warehouse.
Okay, great. Yeah, that sounds pretty streamlined. Do you do that work yourself, or do you have employees that work for you?
We've got one employee. She works about 15 hours a week. She runs the day-to-day business. She's actually in the US, so on the time zone, so she can do all the admin tasks for us.
Okay, great. And can you describe the amount and type of work that the two of you do for the business on a daily basis?
Yeah, so John and I, we probably do a maximum of 10 hours a week, and that's more focusing on new growth opportunities and how to expand, and then the finance side of things.
Okay, perfect. So you'll know this from when you started out, but what skills or requirements would you say that someone who's not familiar with the niche or this business model would need in order to run this business successfully?
You need to be organized. You need to be self-motivated. And you have to have a good general knowledge or the ability to research new products. And you have to have a great eye for detail.
Yeah, to make sure those small things don't run away from you. What would you say are some of the biggest risks associated with this business that buyers should be aware of?
The biggest risk we probably would identify with the site is on our business is we do probably 99% of our business on Amazon FBA. So it'd be great to diversify and get into like Walmart and Target and other online e-commerce stores. That way, if Amazon does shut you down for whatever reason or stop taking inventory, then you've actually got backup traffic and you're still live and able to sell goods.
Yeah, that's definitely a great point. And then in terms of selling the business, would you be willing to commit to a non-compete agreement?
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic. And then would you also be open to negotiating something like an earn-out?
Sure, as long as the right earn-out comes up, we're open to any offer, really, as long as it makes sense for both parties.
Yeah, fair point. And then obviously no one knows this business better than you. You've weathered the ups and downs. How much support would you be willing to offer buyers?
Yeah, so this is something we went back and forth about. And of course, for the first 2 months, we want to get them comfortable. So we're happy to offer them 2 calls a week for the first 2 months. We said an hour, but honestly, they can message us, almost as much as they want. We're happy to make it as smooth of a transition as possible in those first couple months.
Great. I think that's an invaluable resource, and I'm sure buyers will be very happy to hear that. Why do you think this business model is great for people who are interested in starting an online business?
Mainly because it's pretty straightforward. There's a lot of resources out there, and Amazon helps you. When your products get sent into Amazon, Amazon picks, packs, and ships everything. They handle all the customer service. And really, your job is growth strategy and writing listings and kind of those day-to-day operations. But a lot of that physical presence, Amazon can take care of for you. So you can run this business from anywhere. Take it from us. We've been to 67 different countries in the last 5 years. You really can run it from anywhere and build $1 million business. So I'm sure other people can do it too.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's great to have that backup from an established company. So finally, the most important question that our buyers are waiting to hear is, if you had to put yourselves into the shoes of a buyer, why do you think this is a business worth buying?
Yeah. Do you want to take this one or do you want me to take it?
So our business is definitely worth buying because it's got a lot of growth opportunity. We kind of inundated with like products, marketplaces to go to, expansions. And at the end of the day, our niches, there's something that everyone uses there. It's not really seasonal. It's nonstop.
Absolutely. And if you look at our numbers, we're growing almost 100% year over year. The numbers speak for themselves. I had a quick look at other businesses in your marketplace, and most of them don't really have that beautiful upward curve like we have. So it's nice.
Speaks for itself.
Yeah, the numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah, definitely. With growth like that, it definitely sounds like this is a business that our listeners should check out on the marketplace. Before we finish up, is there anything else that you'd like to share that I might have missed?
No, I think you hit it all. Thanks so much, Lauren, for your time.
Great. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm sure our listeners learned a lot of good advice from both of you. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 55637. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description below to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.